Okay, let's be real. The conversation around artificial intelligence is, well, it's everywhere. And honestly, a lot of it sounds pretty scary. Is a robot going to take my job? Am I going to get left behind? Today, we're going to cut through all that noise and find out what's really going on.
This is the big one, isn't it? And it's not some sci-fi question for the distant future anymore. With AI moving at like a dizzying speed, this feels incredibly personal and super urgent. So, where do we all fit in this new world?
And you just can't get away from it. Every single day, there's another headline screaming about the coming robot apocalypse for our jobs, and it paints a pretty bleak picture. It's a story that's designed to grab your attention, for sure. But is it the whole story? What if there's more to it? What if those headlines are only showing us one tiny piece of the puzzle? To get the real story, we have to push past the fear and just follow the data. And honestly, what that data reveals is probably not what you're expecting. Okay, this is where it gets super interesting. We're looking at actual job growth projections from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. And check this out. The very jobs you'd think would be right in the AI crosshairs, they're not just surviving. Some of them are set to absolutely skyrocket. Let's start with software developers. I mean, AI can write code now, it can test code, it can even debug it. So you'd think, okay, we're going to need fewer developers, right? Nope, not even close. The data shows a projected growth of nearly 18%. That's not just growth, that's more than 4 times the average for all jobs. Wild! And how about personal financial advisors? We've had AI robo-advisors for years now. But instead of making human advisors obsolete, the demand for them is projected to jump by over 17%. This tells us something huge. This isn't a story about replacement. Now, to be clear, this doesn't mean no jobs will be affected. Roles that are heavy on routine data analysis, like credit analysts, yeah, those are projected to decline a bit. So if it's not a simple story of replacement, then what is actually happening here? What the data is really pointing to is a future that's less about humans versus machines and way more about a new kind of partnership. It's a future where our work is fundamentally reconfigured. And this quote from the McKinsey Global Institute just hits the nail on the head. We need to shift the conversation away from what AI will replace and start talking about how we will collaborate with it. That right there is the real game changer.
Okay, so to get a handle on this, McKinsey breaks it down into 2 simple concepts. Agents, which are basically AI for brainy thinking tasks, and robots, which are AI for physical, hands-on tasks.
I mean, just take a look at this factory floor. The robots are doing all the heavy lifting, all the repetitive stuff. But the human, they are absolutely crucial. They're the strategist, the person who solves the tricky problems, the final quality check. It's basically human smarts boosted by machine power. And you see the exact same idea here in this lab. That robotic arm is handling the super delicate, precise movements, which frees up the scientists to do what we humans do best, to innovate, to analyze, and to have those incredible aha moments. So this kind of thinking leads to 2 big buckets for work. You've got people-centric jobs, like nursing, that are all about empathy and human connection. And then you have agent-centric jobs, like accounting, where an AI agent handles all the number crunching, but a human is still there to provide that critical judgment and call the shots. Okay, so what does all of this actually mean for you, for your career? How do you not just survive, but actually thrive in this new world? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into next. Here's the thing, the secret isn't trying to beat AI at its own game. It's about developing the skills that AI just can't copy, the skills that are uniquely and powerfully human. And listen, this isn't some far-off prediction. This is happening right now. In just 2 years, the demand for AI fluency in U.S. job postings has jumped by a staggering 700%. It is the fastest-growing skill requirement out there, period. And here is the most important takeaway. Your skills don't just disappear. They get supercharged. Just imagine spending way less time on boring, tedious tasks and way more time on strategy, on creativity, on the big picture. That's the promise of this whole partnership. This slide really breaks it down for us. On one side, you have the skills with the lowest risk of automation, leadership, negotiation, coaching, human stuff. On the other side, you've got the routine, process-driven tasks. The message could not be clearer. Invest in your human abilities. You can think of McKinsey's Skill Change Index as a roadmap for the future. Sure, our digital skills will be totally transformed by working with AI, but those skills that are all about caring and human connection, well, those are going to remain fundamentally human. So let's zoom out for a second and look at the really big picture. This isn't just about changing a few jobs here and there. This is about transforming our entire economy. This new human AI partnership is about to unlock a massive wave of value. How massive are we talking? Try $2.9 trillion in potential economic value. In the US alone. By 2030, this isn't just a small improvement. This is a full-blown productivity revolution. But here's the catch. We can't just slap AI onto our old ways of doing things and expect magic. To actually unlock all that value, we have to redesign how we work from the ground up, with this team of people, agents, and robots right at the center of everything. And this isn't just theory. It's already happening out there. On the left, you've got a solar farm where drones, AI, and a human technician are all working together seamlessly. And on the right, a retail store where robots and AI handle logistics, which frees up the manager to focus on what really matters, the customers. So, it's time to reframe this whole conversation. The change is coming, that's a given. The real question isn't if AI is going to change your job, it's how you are going to partner with it to create more value than you ever thought was possible. Because the future of work, it's a collaboration. The only question left is, are you ready to be a part of it?